What's up? What's up? Wonder, can y'all hear me? This is another sporadic live. I really should rename the title. It's not just about Roy and Kitty. That's the old title. Let me try to change the title real quick. Hold on for a second. I'm just changing the title of the live because it's not just about Roy and Kitty. Even though, good things are happening right now. So give me a second, guys. All right, so yeah, that's probably a little better. Roaring Kitty and meme coins. Let's talk crypto. That sounds a little better. A little better. I think the market's probably gonna start pumping, man, due to the whole Keith Gill, Roaring Kitty. Plus, Robinhood is gonna acquire bit stamps, which is good. Like, there's some positive stuff that's happening right now, man. And it's happening, guess what? At the right time. What's going on, Muhammad? Godson, or good son, I'm sorry. Things are things are progressing. Got Bitcoin above the 71, or really above 70, and we want to see this thing finish off the week. I want to say the week ends on Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. But we want to stay above 70K by Sunday, or by the end of Sunday. Because if that happens, then definitely a very, very strong indicator that we finally are having the breakout. Of course, we got to wait for confirmation, but typically speaking, whenever you see Bitcoin get above its previous highs from the past cycle, then that's the signal that things are about to go stupid, things are about to go crazy. Then eventually you're going to start to see retail, or your cousins, your grandma, co-workers, they're going to come and they're going to ask you about crypto. Like, hey, I heard you did crypto. As soon as you hear that, then that's when you know, okay, retail is getting in this piece. And if retail gets in, and it's just going to continue to drive the price of Bitcoin, Bitcoin and Ethereum is going to go up, tokens that's on Ethereum. It's just a whole crazy cycle, guys. I'm super excited, and I'm ready for it. Even if we take a look, guys, at BNB, setting all-time highs. Crazy, man. Setting all-time highs. And with all the stuff that happened to BNB, even at one point it was at what, 200 and something bucks? Yeah, like BNB was at 200 and something bucks. And especially if you guys, I definitely need to make a video sharing about Bone with the whole BNB. Like I made videos about it before, but this right here should make BNB should make anybody within the sheep ecosystem bullish. The reason why it should make them bullish is due to the fact that Bone, the makeup of Bone, guys, circulating supply that's similar, or not circulating supply. I'm seeing max supply close 250. BNB's is 200 million. And the added benefit for Bone that it's a layer 2 gas token. That's the scary part. It's a layer 2 gas token. But I'm gonna still sitting on my Bone bag, and just patiently waiting to see this thing start to go parabolic, start ripping faces. Because once that start happening, this is when all these so-called newbie investors that's been saying, "Oh, Bone is not gonna do anything. No one cares." See, here's right here. Bone always down as team likes to sell anytime it goes up. No one cares about your stupid blockchain with no projects and no volume. We will never forget the time you had bots running to create volume. You fakes. Like people who gets on here, like low lives. Like if think about it from this point of view. Like when have you ever seen like an investor, like a legitimate successful investor, go on forums or go on comment sections and start talking bad about any project, even if it was legitimate or not? That's not what investors do. Because if it's really that bad, to the point that all the point's valid, guess what that investor would do? They'll just sell and just walk away. Like this right here is screaming that I probably bought the top. I'm frustrated. The price have not performed like I thought it was gonna do. I don't have a plan, and I'm just gonna cry like grown man. Like there's no way you should be a grown man and you're crying about your investment because you at the end of the day are 100% control of your investment. That just to me that's tough love. You know, and I gotta call it how it is. Like if you're unhappy with any of your investment, you sell and you find something else. Like it's super easy. But some people don't like taking a loss. They don't ego gets in the way. They don't want to admit that they were wrong as far as the timing that they got in. Or they're just completely new to it and they sunk their life savings into it and they're just praying, to any type of God that they have that the price would go up. And that's not investing. That's hopeful thinking. Everything about Bone, everything that I talked about Bone, everything is strategic. For 2 years straight, I've been saying this. 2 years straight. My exit on Bone, or not even my exit, but the time for me to reevaluate Bone is gonna be quarter 3 or quarter 4. You go back to 2 years ago, like from my videos, and you guys will see that that's been my consistent message due to the fact I knew what time we were in the markets. When Bitcoin was having this plummet back in January 2022, and people thought everything was over. I'm like, yo, this is the time to be buying the dip because if market cycle repeats itself, everything is gonna recover eventually. And I gave the time frame as far as when you're gonna really start to see the recovery. And this is why I love my channel so much because like everything that I tell you guys, if you want to fact check it, you can go through my channel. You could be able to take a look at everything that I said, and you guys are currently seeing it being played out real time. You know, I'm not giving no hindsight information. I'm giving you guys real time information for tomorrow's event, which is pretty cool just to be able to see like how everything is unfolding. I mean, I talked about like Silent Ninja. I talked about Bone on my channel for 2 years straight. And I talked about every single possibility of how Bone is gonna happen. The you know what to look for, worst case scenario, best case scenario. When I mean I cover Bone every type of way that it could possibly be done. Like right now, there is legit no update. There's no update, and it's been the same thing that I've been mentioning for the past 2 years. The time when we're gonna, and again, Q3, that's literally like next month. That is next month. And I think people just want me to just keep hyping them, hyping them, hyping them about Bone. When the fact of the matter is, if you don't know what you're getting into, then you don't need people hyping you. You should already know, as far as like, hey, this is my plan. This is my exit. This is, if it doesn't do this, then I'm gonna do this and that. You should like, my channel is about self sufficiency. Like, I see people freaking out because I don't talk about Bone like one time or two times out the week. Like, are you investing in Bone because you believe in it? Because if you don't believe in it, then you know you're gonna freak out to anything. So yeah, I got 2 straight years worth of history as far as me talking about Bone. And I feel like if people haven't gotten it now as far as a Bone, then they're definitely gonna miss out on the train. I mean, some people might be able to just get back in it, at a later time. Like I read practically all of my comments. There's days that I don't read, but I read practically all my comments. And the constant consensus that I'm seeing within the comment section is like, oh my God, Random March talking about Roaring Kitty is Bone dead. Like, what? Me talking about one does not make another dead. Why you make us wait? Random Arts been waiting for a video. Yeah, it's sad to say, and I still have my fun bag. Again, for that, I have a plan with fund, but it's just what was being conveyed to us did not happen. And I'm not saying fund is dead by any means necessary, but I am extremely disappointed. When I mean extremely disappointed, as far as like how everything is playing out with it, this right here, huge potential, huge potential. Like fund, like the people behind fund, they're thinking that fund and Shiba Inu are like equal. You know what I mean? Like nobody knows fund, and the whole I'm gonna be developing, and which is cool. Like with the whole I'm developing. If we don't have anything to say, but sheesh, get a social, like somebody on your social media, just to be able to tweet something out at least, just to know, because if new investors are coming in to find out about the amazing thing that you're doing, like it just super inconsistent. Like May 24th, May 9th, March, that's a big leap as far as when you're posting. Because if people looking at your social just to be able to get a gauge, because there's so many rug pulls, nobody's going to automatically know, like, hey, fun is not a rug pull. And just the inconsistent. That's one of the biggest criticism that I had for them. March 11th, then skip the February 7th, then January 10th. Like, yeah, I mean, and plus the whole development of U nodes. That was supposed to be around, the time of Shibarium. That didn't happen. So the thing is, a lot of time, if you're not first in the market, you could miss your opportunity. Because I think what the node service that's currently being used is I forgot what nodes is being used. Now nodes. Yeah, now nodes is currently being used. So now you're trying to catch up. I'm not saying that they can't catch up by any means necessary, but now you're playing catch up just to be able to try to uh, be the quote unquote node provider on Shibaria. I mean, granted, there's still time because Shibarium really haven't popped off, but as far as just like how I'm seeing things develop, it's super disappointing. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm still holding. Average is somewhere around like 24 cents or something like that, 23, 24 cents. So I'm down like 50%. But again, with the bull market, even though if you're down in your position, that's one thing that I found out, the hard way. Even though you're down, um, things could change real fast, real quick, especially once everything start going up. Then, you know, so that's why I continue to hold. No, I'm giving it Q3, Q4 is just to see like what's happening on the development side, not necessarily a price action. So if Q3, Q4, nothing is happening on the development side on the team, then it's like, hey, maybe I probably need to lower my position. Not necessarily just sell my whole bone bag. I don't because I don't believe in selling uh don't not selling an asset completely down during a bull cycle, especially if you're down on it. I mean, if you need to take the funds to be able to put it somewhere else, by all means necessary, do that. But no, but yeah, it's mainly for the development side because I felt doing this when I first did my first bone video after I bought bone. Um, I was just thinking about like realistically, like based upon the different havings, based upon the different cycle, what is like the optimal time for them to be able to have everything like running or off the ground. And the conclusion that I came from was Q3, well, really it was Q4, Q1, but I since did make the adjustment as far as Q3, Q4 based upon their announcement. So things right now for bone, I thought I had the bone chart up. Things right now for bone or for the development of Shibarium, I think we're at a good place because especially with the Shiba Swap 1.75 and the team in itself, they're going out, they're marketing it, they were able to get funding for treat, like a lot of good stuff that's happening in the background that a lot of people are not looking at or not even paying attention to. But all of these stuff are like wow, and I'm not shocked that I was able to call it, this accurately as far as like how the progress of it. It just with the extra variables as far as with the whole treat, getting funding by some VCs, and that's huge for Shibaria. That is huge. So yeah, so it's mainly based upon the development, not necessarily the price. Uh, so anytime a team is like heavily developing and marketing their project, they're gonna do well. Kingdom Talks, what's up, man? Appreciate all you do for us, brother. Been following you for years. We've been learning so much and how things work from your videos. Man, I appreciate that, man. And that's like I said, that's truly like my whole goal with my channel is to educate. Like educate, being self-sufficient because you know, me saying like, "Hey, I'm buying this token," doesn't really, you could be able to make money if you like follow the trade or something like that. But as far as for you developing long term, like let's say if I after this I pull a Keith Gill and I'm like, you know what? I done made my millions. Um, let me go ahead and just hang up my YouTube channel. And if my picks were, the source of, hey, how you're able to make your money and you didn't learn anything, then essentially then you're missing out as far as making money in the future if I was your only source. I'm not saying that, I'm the only source. Hopefully I'm not. But yeah, that's how I look at it. Turbo is trending. Turbo is bad. Turbo is like one of the main reasons why, or not, I wouldn't say main reason, but it is a reason why I am bullish on Roaring Kitty. Just how everything developed with them guys. Like I'm the type, if I see something is successful, I'm always looking to try to replicate it. Like what made it successful? How did this happen? Like I sometimes I go directly in their Telegram. Go on Telegram and look at their old messages when they were, what was happening back then. What was the sentiment of the community? Like I look at all of that and how they were able to develop and grow. Incredible. And funny enough, you know, I'm following some of their playbook, and hence why with Roaring Kitty, we got three offers, guys. This is crazy. We only been what really at it maybe about 2 or 3 weeks, but we got three exchange listing offering. Nuts. And believe it or not, some of the listings, guess where I got it from? I got it from them. Like from their early Telegram days. Like I went on it, started seeing who they were going after, and these listings that they went after, those are the ones that I pushed through, and lucky enough, they responded back. So yeah, so this is like I mentioned, very very interesting, just to be able to see how this thing is playing out. When you talk, I listen because you're one of the most level-headed people I follow in the space. I made money from Roaring Kitty, Soul Killer. You the man, bro. Man, I appreciate it, bro. And I'm happy that you were able to make some money. And some people, what they were doing, especially with Roaring Kitty, they were flipping it to be able to buy more bone. One of the best stories that I heard, because I told you guys like from the beginning, the goal, at least for me, was to be able to get 10,000 bone, because I feel 10,000 at a $100 bone, $1 million, right? So I've talked about this many many times. And the person who messaged me, they said like, based upon their work, how much, with their family, they said there's no way that they were gonna be able to get 10,000 bone. And they said they've been trying, really, really hard for the past, I think they started following me about a year ago, for the past year just to try to get it. And they said they were nowhere near close of reaching the 10,000 bone mark. And with the play with Roaring Kitty, they say they got in as soon as I dropped the video. And the crazy thing about it, like as soon as I bought it, I made the video. So they probably just got in maybe, it was probably like 10%, maybe 10 or 20% after I dropped the video. And they did a small amount of investment, and they were able to cash out to be able to get their 10,000 bone. They swapped it for 10,000 bone. So like hearing stories like that, man, it's like it really gets me excited, because it's like, and I get it, as far as like not, you see a good investment opportunity, but not having the funds to be able to potentially change your family's life, your life, And the fact that they were able to do it, yeah, really put joy to my face. It looks like Bobo is up next. I think I saw. Is that 100% community driven as well too? This one, Cal and Sai Soshi are speaking at ETH Toronto, August 13 and 14. Think we'll get any news on updates on Shibarium? I think we might. I truly think we might, because just with the whole theme of how things been progressing with Lucy when she started marking about, she was swap 1.75, then maybe, a few weeks later that came out, and also the was it when they were in Dubai, that's when we got the big announcement of as far as treat. So I think there's a lot of stuff that's happening right now in the background, that is super, in my opinion, just bullish for Bone, bullish for Shabir, bullish for the whole ecosystem. And this right here just been always my gauge as far as like where are we really supposed to be at. Because I always tell you guys, if Bitcoin is not, going parabolic, passing all, passing the previous cycles all-time highs and just keep going up, then anything right now as far as in the market is subject to any type of retracement. But notice for this period of time, Bitcoin just been holding. So with the whole August stuff, so let's say it goes all the way to August. Let's see where August is at. July, September. Oh. So roughly right around here, guys. Let's see if I can do a line. All right. So roughly right around here. That's the mark. The August mark is when they're gonna be in the conference. So how many weeks is that from today? So we're June. Let's see. Got one, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're about 10 weeks out. So a lot could happen with 10 weeks, especially with 10 candles. So if they do drop it, and especially if this candle right here on the week finish stays above this blue line right here, then what we could see is probably 2 weeks of consolidation, as long as it stays above. Then giving us 8 weeks away from August from the event, then if they're dropping the news when Bitcoin is surpassing all-time highs, guys, it's gonna help the overall ecosystem. Not only Bone, Sheeb, and we know Sheeb is exploding. Bone is gonna also keep going up as well too. So for me, like the way that they have everything planned out, it's the ideal situation that we want to be in. Man, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's crazy. Like I looked up out of nowhere and I saw 20K. I was like, what the heck can happen? But yeah, no, I appreciate it though. When we make it, that guy is gonna tell his kid about you. I like, matter of fact, I like this chart. Nice consolidation. You know, you're not seeing heavy sell pressure. When it sells, you're getting nice consolidation. So when it pops, so it's at $128 million market cap. So this could easily go to like 300 million market cap, passing its all-time highs. GME, $24 million market cap. Now, they've been listed on a lot of exchanges, but one thing that I noticed about them, guys, whoever's in this, they're selling. They've been selling because ain't no way that they're doing $8 million in volume and this thing is not pushing up even higher. So whoever's behind it, yeah, they're constantly selling. And one thing that I think with Roy and Kitty, what we need to fix, which is the, like, notice the volume. Like on these right here, they're doing $293,000. We, on the other hand, only 32,000. So you're seeing like a big volume discrepancy. And I think the one of the main reason, and I've reached out to CoinGecko trying to see if they could get this fixed. Like if you go to CoinGecko on ours, let me see if I can pull it up. CoinGecko. Like if you go to CoinGecko and you type in roar, right? Notice you don't see anything pops up. It almost seems like we're a dead token. Like I sent in like 2 requests for them to update this, and it still haven't been done. So yeah, so hopefully we are able to get this updated, because if we are, then that's going to be able to help our visibility. Like they did update the white paper. Still didn't update Twitter. But yeah, it's but we get a listing. Majority of that is gonna change because we should be able to see like a CMC listing with like 2 exchanges. Yeah, it's crazy. Like yeah, I was at like 3K subscribers. And I remember even from the early days, like I made one video when I first really started. I made one video and it exploded. I went from literally from like 0 subs to over 1,000 in a matter of like the first month or something like that. I was like, dang, that's crazy. And at the time, I think I was talking about Safe Moon. And I was super excited about Safe Moon. But then I started looking into it. I was like, yo, Safe Moon's a scam, guys. Like I'm getting out of it. And I remember, guys, my sub count, that thing plummeted due to the fact that majority of the audience that was watching it, they were Safe Moon holders. Yeah. So I lost a lot of sub. People were angry. It was a whole bunch of mess. I was like, dang. Sometimes, people. That's a great thing. Like this is the thing that you never want to be in crypto. You never want to be like so blinded to a crypto where even when someone is presenting truth to you, you get angry and automatically dispel it as FUD. Like when people say, anything negatively about Bone, like I actually researched to be able to see is what they're saying is credible. Because at any given time, I'm okay being wrong, you know, on any crypto project. Like I don't have to be right, you know. That's the biggest thing with people when it's ego. Like they have to be right. No, I don't have to be right. Because I'd rather be wrong, take a loss, be able to preserve my capital versus, being blinded by, greed, thinking, I'm gonna get rich overnight and or whatever maybe. But no, I rather be wrong on a project to be able to get out. And same thing with Safe Moon. Like after really researching, I was like, yo, this is a scam. This is a scam. So I got out. I lost maybe like 200-300 bucks, and the whole community turned against me. I was blocked from their X account blocked me. The My subs, they turned against me. It was crazy. They were like, "You're never gonna make it as a YouTuber." I still remember to this day that guy who told me that. He was like, "You're never gonna make it out of YouTuber. You might as well just give it up." I'm like, well, you know, I guess you're not my intended audience, and this is why, like, even with my channel now, like, I don't. That's why I really don't pay attention to like my sub count, because I know at any given time, like, even if I start not doing that someone don't like, I'm gonna unsub, and I don't get caught up with the numbers. I'm gonna talk about what I like, and yeah, because at the end of the day, I'm not the only YouTuber. Like, I'm not oblivious to that point. But that's one thing that I've learned as far as with crypto. Like, I'm never gonna fault. I'm not gonna marry a crypto. You know, I'm not gonna marry it to the point where I'm not gonna be able to see the faults. Now, I do talk a lot of good things about Bone, but I'm not oblivious to, with some of the stuff that I don't like. But I feel like the stuff that's happening with Bone, a lot of it is, outweighs the bad stuff. So it's a give and take. Like, I don't see a crypto that's 100% perfect. It's only perfect. Let me rephrase that. It's only perfect if you got in early. you know. So if you got in to Shiba Inu when it was at like 8 zeros or 9 zeros or something like that, Shiba Inu could do you no wrong. Because look, you're up millions of percentage. You know, like, it's just a slight dip. Uh, like, if you get in early and your project is doing well, you really don't see any flaws. Which, if you're up that much, then hey, I guess it might be okay to be biased, but don't be down on a project and you're just completely biased to it. Just got to make sure that your the positive outweigh the negatives. Yeah, for sure, man. Yo, and I was gonna get on X and gloat and be like, "Yo, I told y'all, Safe Moon was a scam." Like, and a lot of those people who just kept riding that train, um, some had hundreds of thousands of dollars into it, and it went to zero. Like, and had they, and I even remember, like, after I got off, after I sold my bag in Safe Moon, probably like 3 months later, or not 3 months, but 3 weeks later, it had this massive pump. Of course, people coming in the comment section like, "I told you it's not a scam, blah blah blah. Like, you don't know what you're talking about." And I was looking, I was like, "Yo, it's still a scam, but I wish I would have waited to sell." But yeah, but definitely my channel went through a nice little journey. And for a while I just stopped and just looked and like, okay, where can I actually build my channel off of? Because I do get in a lot of different cryptos, and there's no way I'm just gonna talk about all these different cryptos, because no matter how much I say like, hey, it's not financial advice, you're gonna have somebody that's gonna ape in regardless. So I always wanted to found my channel on something that's solid, and stuff that's typically solid, just not strictly a meme, is utility tokens. They're going to be around longer in most cases. So, token that made me the most money was the obvious first thought, which was Shiba Inu. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do Shiba Inu videos. But the market in itself at the time was like super saturated, and people were just saying like the same stuff, updating the news, and I didn't really see any fresh take on Shiba Inu. So I was like, let me just take a look at the other tokens that's on Shiba Inu because I did a search on Leash, I did a search on Bone, and at first I was gonna do like my whole channel on Leash, um, but really when I started digging, doing more research into Bone, I was like, holy crap! Like this asset, like it's super undervalued, and really that was just like the whole genesis of why I did Bone versus Shiba Inu. So yeah, this is like my number one convicted or conviction play, and I'm just gonna ride it to the end. Not literally the end, like not the zero, but I'm saying like based upon my trading plan for this. No, that's exactly what I was talking about. The Toronto, that's gonna be really big. Yo, congrats, Will. Will is up 12K on Roaring Kitty, man. I'm telling you, like, there's in the meme space, you could really get really good risk reward on any asset if you just follow just like what's the narrative. And to me, I get like I said, when I saw this, I was like, oh my goodness, this thing is really gonna explode. Like legit explode because I started talking about it. I wish I would have got it in like the 5 zeros. I didn't catch it in the 5 zeros. I caught it in the 4 zeros. But as soon as I saw this thing pop up, I was like, yo, this thing is stupidly underrated. Being the fact that it is the first on the blockchain. Like, I wish I would have caught it somewhere here. And whoever bought this amount, I think I know who bought it. I think it's like the third wallet. Let me pull it up. Or the fourth wallet. He was the at one point he was the biggest whale on this, but he ended up selling during this dip right here. Like he literally was the one who caused this candle to happen right here. He sold 20 million. Boop. And of course the community, or was it right here? No, he sold right here. 20 million. Boop. And the community just bought it up. I was hoping that he sell more, you know. I was just like praying, like, just go ahead and sell more. Because the more of these whales that we get out the way and just have it distributed more among holders, like this is a good ratio as far as 3%. Whenever you're looking at a project who holds, like if it was like more than 5%, which that's what he was like more than 5%. That was like a little concerning. But 3%, ideally, if we get these right here to sell, and we're gonna see they're gonna eventually sell because as the price get higher and higher, when they people start seeing hundreds of $1,000s on the table, then they're gonna be tempted to sell. That's why, like, even the whole notion, like, people see 100, $200 on the table, and they'll take it. But once they start getting to like the 1%, and this is getting distributed among other holders at higher pricing, then we'll be able to see nice little stable price action there. But yeah, I'm super excited about this. one thing I learned though in the background of projects is the stuff that is required behind it. This is crazy. Like not having funding is definitely a hindrance. But the give, because it's give and take. The give on this, or the take on this, is that you get to see better price action, because the projects that need the fundings, guess what they're gonna have to do? They're gonna have to sell down their tokens to be able to get the funding. So if they sell down the token, then it's not really an artificial move. So projects like that tend to take longer to be able to, have a nice move up. But with so many projects, with so many people going for attention, it takes them a lot longer, and time is not really their friend, because if people start seeing price action just continue to go down, automatically they think dead. It's a dead project. This is dead. This is dead. So if they don't have an incredible team behind them, then eventually it just becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy and the project end up dying out. So with us, the biggest advantage that we have is that there's no free token. We don't have, a marketing wallet. We don't have any of that. So it's strictly community. So anything outside of the token, like we're not selling down our token just to be able to fund whatever venture that we're trying to do, whether it be the listings or anything like that. This is coming out of our personal funds. So with that coming out of our personal funds, as a community collectively, we're able to see nice price growth. Like this is a healthy looking chart. This is extremely healthy. Then when we start adding listing to it, now we're going to be able to increase volume. So now these up moves, they're going to be a little bit more exaggerated. I'm telling you, if we're able to see volume like how these other Roaring Kitty is doing right now, and this thing is gonna, it's already up. Like keep in mind, guys, this is up like 99x. At its height, it was like over 100x. From the time that I caught this, and even it being up that much, you're not seeing any any slowdown from it. And the market cap of it is still extremely low, $1.82 million. Like it's legit about to flip some bigger projects that's been around the block. I'm I really want to see some more sales. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like if we see more sales, because I know there's some people on the sideline that's still waiting to buy. They was able to get some more, but they were hoping more dips. Especially during this dip right here, man. Like you guys, man, I got skipped on the front on the let me get it pulled up. Yeah, on the top holder list, because people just started rushing in and just buying. Like, yo, let me get in. Let me buy some more. Oh, this person been selling. Because at one point, he had like 5 million, like over 5 million. See what he sold 19 hours ago. 19 hours ago, 27 hours ago. So these are his two sales. Hey, it is what it is, man. ETs, what ETs? Hey, not a problem, man. I try to do my best just to be able to talk about really any project that you guys mentioned to me, because I remember one live, I missed a huge opportunity where someone talked about a project. It was Inu Inu. mean, I got in late, but I wish I would have got in like when they mentioned it. But that did like 100x, um, roughly a few days after my stream. Like it was like when I looked at it on the stream, it was like somewhere over here. Oh no, that's too far out. It was probably somewhere over here. Yeah. And next thing you know, I get a message like, "Yo, did you get in an Inu Inu?" I was like, "Nah, I forgot to." Did 100x. Boom. I was like, "Dang." So I waited till all of this, so I finally got in just to slap some on there just to see what it did. You know, on Elmo, what's the narrative behind Elmo? Looks like Elmo been around for a pretty decent amount of time. Like any chart like this, is a contract renounced? Liquidity's burnt or liquidity's locked for 4 months. So in 4 months, what is the team gonna do? Like, oh, if it, let's say if the liquidity was locked or burnt, contract renounced, and I see, spike like this, I like it. It lets me know that it got spikeability. Then it did another spikeability. So during like times like this, consolidation, I wouldn't mind, just slapping in 100, 200, $300 at it and just see what it do. Because at that good. So with the sales tax, is that does it give out reflections? That used to be the hottest thing. Reflection tokens. So what are they doing with the taxes then? Because yeah, that's pretty high taxes. Because if they're keeping the taxes, oh, okay. Well, let me take a look at the what you call them. Let me go back. Let's go back and look at the contract. It's even on MEXC. Okay. Bitmark. So, is it going to a dead address or they're just automatically just removing it? They're probably just removing it. Okay, so yeah, they're okay. I like contracts like that where it's not going to a dead wallet or anything like that. It just automatically just be taken out. Well, what did it start off with? What was the starting token? I mean, the max supply. How much have they burnt so far? It's pretty interesting. What's the market cap again? 1 million. How much have they burnt so far? So 311 million. And the price of it, point, okay, 2059. Burnt about 67%. Sheesh. That's pretty impressive. That is really impressive. Put a little star beside you. MEXC, Bitmart. Volume kind of low though. So so they're doing 7. Let me see. That's correct. Yeah, volume super low. So that's the only thing. The volume is low. Because in order for it to sustain that burn rate, they definitely have to pick up the volume. Yeah, normally with if it's high taxes, um, it, it is gonna be few sellers. It is gonna discourage sellers. Um, but even on the buy side, if I buy it, I'm automatically 10% in the hole. So it would have to go 10% up in order for me to just be at break even. But I like the burn rate though, 65%. Definitely keep an eye on it though. Definitely keep an eye on this one. Oh, okay. So it's only on Uniswap. Okay. Gotcha, gotcha. Let's see what GameStop is doing. Oh my goodness. Dang, GameStop is going, man. These short sellers about to get wrecked. This is crazy. This is crazy. Like again, man, I seen this coming. I seen this coming, guys, and I outlined to you guys in the video about this whole GameStop narrative. Like I knew this was coming because again, like one of my strategies when I was heavily in the stock market was short selling. I actually sold GameStop when it was the probably like in the 300s, and it chopped me out a little bit because it will go down as a short seller. One of the main rules, if you're in the position and while the asset is going down, you want to add to your position. Most short seller, because you could lose infinite, amount of money. You could actually owe your broker money if it start having a squeeze. But we typically just dabble in a little bit. So anytime you see someone say, "Hey, I'm short a stock or I'm short something," the season or the the seasoned investors, like the people who know what they're doing, they're not shorting like their whole position. They're probably shorting maybe like 1/3, 1/4, maybe 1/5 of their position. And they're just getting a feel for how the stock is gonna react. And if it start reacting positively, then they start to add their full position. And one of the biggest things that I saw with GameStop after it had this nice correction there, let me do candlestick. Once they had this nice correction, the short sellers that were in here, or even the one that were down and they started adding to their position, they felt a little bit more comfortable because, like, in a lot of situation, like seeing this on a chart means the death of the stock. So I felt like they're probably adding. I mean, if I'm looking at it from this standpoint, I probably would have been adding too. Like, just based upon my experience, I would have been adding too. But what really got them was this right here, because it went down, but it actually still stayed alive. And this was like the biggest red flag that's going up in my head. When I was looking at it, I was like, yo, if I'm short right now on a position on GameStop, I would be pissing myself due to the fact that we're not seeing more breakdowns on this stock, but we're actually seeing consolidation. So whoever didn't get out during this consolidation, because it gave them an opportunity, especially if you were, you know, profiting over here and you just been riding the wave. Yeah, get out right here. Take your profit. Consolidation after a big breakdown shouldn't be more consolidation. It should be probably like maybe 1 or 2 days, then breakdown, then continue having a breakdown. But nope, you get this spike. It kind of scared them. They thought it was over again. And now what you're probably going to start to see is either forced liquidation by the broker because they know what happened last time as far as with the GameStop, and they're going to put this probably as one of the most, you know, riskiest asset on their platform, or it might be classified as reg show. And if that happens, it's gonna be very, very scary for a lot of short sellers. Team explained a lot in their Telegram team leader docs. Oh, are you talking about for Elmo? Gotcha. Not 10. Need to go 20% to get your money. Yeah, no. What I was saying is like as soon as you buy, you're down 10%. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Like yeah, 20% to be able to make to really break even. But he's saying that it's only on Uniswap. So if you buy it on MEXC, then you're straight. You think CORZ is a better play? Biggest Bitcoin miner, just out of bankrupt, and bigger guys want to purchase them. From the stock market or CORZ? I might need that. Actually, been buying Riot in the stock market. It's frozen. Come on, Yahoo Finance. CORZ. Unless if he's talking about in the crypto. More likely in the stock market. Ooh, I like this chart. Yo, this is nice. I'm not gonna lie. This is textbook. And I think it's gonna continue to keep running with the Bitcoin narrative. Let me see what is the take a look at the float of this. Float 151 million. Short sale, 7.38 million. No, I like this. Click up. I gotta sign in. CORC. I'm gonna write that down. Like I've been into Riot. Last cycle, the reason why I like Riot was due to the fact that when Bitcoin was just going parabolic, it does follow the overall movement of Bitcoin, as well as Coin and Mara, I think it's the other one. But since this one was like the lowest, I was like, yo, let me just follow this because this could probably go to. In fact, let me get some. You know what? Let me get some options on this. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get some Let me get some options on this. Out of market options. And I'm gonna do probably expiration date for this. We're in the month of, probably look for some January expiration date, like something crazy. Yo, that's awesome, brother. You managed to get 50,000 bone. Sheesh. So at $20 bone, are you cashing? That's what I want to know. So do I gotta look for your sell order once we get to $20? Dang, it skipped that much. 47. It was just at 45. That's crazy, man. This is nuts. Let's see. And I think it's gonna get even crazier during after hour. But one thing about it though, if people are buying in anticipation for it, it could be like buy the rumor, sell the news. Especially if it starts to, let's say it gets to like 100. Because that's the thing with GameStop, you really don't know what it will do after hours. It could legit get to over 100 after hours. And I wonder what people are doing right now in the Telegram. This is the time we definitely should be rating. Like letting people know about Roaring Kitty. Yo, I actually just got some alpha, man. Um, this is crazy. Just got. I'm shaking a little bit. This is crazy. Uh, I don't know if you guys know this, but I had dropped it in the Telegram. I had talked about uh, a third listing for Roaring Kitty, right? So with this market, with this exchange, let me just read. I'm reading the email right now on my phone. Like I just, when I mean legit, just checked my phone. So it looks like we could. So they're accepting the listing for Roaring Kitty. Of course, we do have to pay for it. It's so it's easy for you. 5,000. Yeah, it looks like they accepted my counter offer because the listing amount was somewhere in the five figures. And I just been negotiating with them, just trying to get them down on that price. And one of the key thing that I was selling them was like, hey, Roaring Kitty, the name Roaring Kitty, like, hey, he's popping off right now in in the news. I gave them all the different articles, and they came out of nowhere and accepted it. So I may have to end this live just to be able to take care of this. But this is stupidly bullish news, man. Let me just find out. The liquidity can be kept depending upon market. I don't understand that. But yo, this is pretty big news right here. Like I when it comes to Roy and Kitty guys, sometimes I just be shaking. And the reason why I shake is like you ever just like think about something like, yo, this is just too good to be true. Sometimes that's how I feel because the narrative, the you know, everything about it, the narrative, where we were able to get in that, um, how the community is growing, how we're getting exchange listings, like accepting us. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Oh yeah, yeah. When it comes to that, like, no, I went to their website. Like, I'm not talking to anybody that's reaching out to me because exchange listings, they're not gonna reach out to you. Like, I actually went to their website, I applied, and then they got back with me. Yeah, so no, that's one of the things that I that I make sure I did. Yeah, if somebody come up to me like, "Hey, random arts, want to get listed on Binance or something like that?" Nah, that 100% scam. But no, I actually applied for these. I've been applying to so many different exchanges. Um, yeah, but this is pretty bullish news for this. I was saying the same thing too, JD. I was saying the same thing because if you think about it, with Roaring Kitty, right? As soon as the reason why we recovered, even this first week right here, look at the date, March 13th, right? That's when he dropped his tweet on March 12th. March 13th was the next day. Huge parabolic move, and we had went up. He went away, and all of a sudden, he came back again. As soon as he came back, dropped his tweet, boom, we get a nice pump. So just him tweeting caused the rally as far as for Bitcoin to get back because a lot of degenerates are coming back into the market. And even right before Shiba Inu popped off, because remember the GameStop squeeze, all of that happened that January. So a lot of people made a lot of money and they needed to put the money somewhere. So with excess amount of money, guess what was popping? Shiba Inu, February or really late February, March, then boom, Shiba Inu started taking off. So if a lot of people again start making a lot of money off of GameStop, they're gonna look to put that capital somewhere else, and guess where they're gonna be looking for? A meme, more likely a meme token. And with the name or them being familiar with a asset, if we're able to position ourselves to get in these exchange listings, this is gonna not only help us get on coin market cap without having to pay for it, but it is gonna put us as far as a legitimate asset, because there's so many different roaring kitties out there, and people are just still just dabbling, just putting a piece here on this one, putting a piece there and that one. But us being able to kickstart and be able to get everything started, faster, um, yeah, it would definitely put us like in the running, because if two or three, if people, and when it comes to exchanges too, it's monkey see, monkey do. This is why you're seeing Turbo getting all these different listings, right? Let me go to Turbo. It becomes a spiral effect, because not only is Turbo's price going up, they're getting increase in volume, right? So with the increase of volume, the price is just keep going up, and they're making an announcement like, "Hey, Turbo just got listed on this exchange." So now the exchanges are looking like, "Wait, am I missing something?" Like, because they don't want to miss the next dollar amount, the next move of volume, especially with Pepe, with all these different meme tokens. And as you get listed on more and more exchanges, then it starts becoming free. Then they have to go out to be able to go to the open market just to be able to get it, causing big price surges. And again, I'm just doing, I'm not reinventing the wheel. Like, a lot of the stuff that I'm doing, or the places that I'm applying for, these were some of the same places that Turbo applied for at the early stages. So I'm just following the blueprint. Luckily enough, they left the blueprint open in their Telegram, so I was able to see it. So this is why, like, I'm just super excited about the success that Roaring Kitty is seeing, especially for the ones who already made money, got out over here. Ones that got out over here. I 100% agree, JD. No, the first exchange, they did not announce it yet. They're gonna announce next week. They said that because I tried to get them to announce it today. I messaged them. I was like, "Hey, like, can you announce? I mean, we don't have to be live today, but can you announce it today that we're gonna be listed?" But they were like, unfortunately, based upon their marketing for another project, they have them scheduled for tomorrow. So it's like, okay, I understand. All right, man. You take care. My volume is so low. Why everybody? Is it? Go. I guess because I be talking away from the mic. How about now? How's my volume? How is my volume? Let me increase my volume. How about now? How I sound now? Good. Yo, man. Like, ever since I did a complete restart to my computer, my volume just been low, and I don't remember the settings that I had initially. Let's try 300%. All right, how's that now? Better. Okay, so I'm gonna remember that. Keep it at 300%. And eventually, I do need to get some new mics. I keep saying I do need to get some new mics, but what's going on in Twitter world? If GameStop hits $70, Roy Kitty will. Man, and that's all my timeline is right now. Roy and Kitty, like, man, telling people, like, I try to give them the play, man. But some people, they don't like change, I would say. Like I talked about talked about it on my bone on my channel for 2 years straight. As soon as I switch up, you're like, wait a minute, this is something different now. I don't like this. So, but the people that's able to pivot, especially with the market environment that we're currently in, especially because you gotta, and it's not changing as far as like you swapping your token out to go for another thing. I would never recommend that. Like my bone bag is sitting there. If I see something else that's popping, then I have to get fresh capital to be able to purchase it. That's always been my rule. Fresh capital to be able to purchase a new asset. Because you swap, and it could be a day, 2 days right after you swap. The next thing you know, the asset that you've been holding on for the longest, that goes parabolic, and you're like, what the heck? I should have just waited. So if there's any asset that I see that I like, I'm always using fresh capital. I'm not swapping from one asset just to be able to get it and just to be able, unless if that was like my plan. Like even right now for Jenner, like I bought Jenner. So my plan on Jenner is, and this is just like a pure degen play, you know what I mean? Just pure. Yeah. So if this get to like, let's say a 20, $30 million market cap, of course I'm gonna take my profits out, as well as my initial. Then I'm gonna take that and add it to something else. You know, take whatever I initially started into this with, add it to another asset, and whatever profit that I made that I took out with it as well, I'll just put that to the side somewhere else. And this is how I've been able to just constantly just keep growing my portfolio by being able to do that. You think I should sell and buy back and make a few bucks? I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Don't overthink it, man. Just if you feel like, that's the best course of action for you, do it. If not, don't do it. Like that's the beauty about trading. Like you're not gonna know until you try. So always be comfortable with making a decision that you make versus what someone else is saying. Because I could live with me being wrong, but I can't live with somebody else being wrong and I'm, I did what they said. So hopefully that makes sense. Someone dropped $7.8 million on GameStop shares at 38 bucks. Sheesh. Yo, it seemed like California just unreal for real. Like this is this guy really just shooting at a random? This is crazy, man. Like California makes it seem like it's GTA. This is nuts. If Roaring Kitty sells his 5 million GME shares here at above $43, he will get $211 million.
Still in bar have it once, but shattered $20. Think he'll go up to 50 before the stream, your opinion?
Talking about GME going to 50? What time the mark? Oh, the market's already closed. I think so. I think it might do. I think GME might do going up to 50 because with after hours, this is when it's illiquid. So if someone start dropping few $1 million during after hours, then it's gonna start skipping up. Then so I think it might do though. What's the exchange? And thank you for putting in that work, bro. I can't say the exchange yet. Once they announce it, then I mean I gave clues within the Telegram. I did since remove those because it seemed like some of the other Roaring Kitties they've been coming at us. I don't know why, man. But yeah, some of the other Roaring Kitties they've been coming at us, especially like in the Telegram and all this and that. So some of the stuff that I was just posting openly, I actually just took it down due to the fact that, um, you know, at the end of the day, it is going to be a competition as far as like which Roaring Kitty really takes off. So I don't want to give them a competitive advantage as far as which exchange. And yeah, because they could turn around and go for the same listings. And that would be kind of weird having two Roaring Kitties because at the end of the day, it's going to be who pays first. That's how they're going to look at it. So, so I took it down because the same way that I went on Turbo's and I just started thinking like that. I'm like, wait a minute. So I'm going on Turbo's Telegram and I'm looking at all these conversations from their early days as far as who they're uh, applying for and getting listed on. I'm like, what if somebody do the same thing to us? So I'm like, yeah, let me just not share as freely. GameStop sure hell have no idea what is coming tomorrow. The stock is headed to absolutely unprecedented Friday. See, that's the thing. I get I get nervous when I see things like this. Reason why I get nervous is typically whenever just based upon experience. Like whenever you're expecting one thing, a lot of time the opposite happens. GameStop, it could be the exception to the rule, and I'm hoping it is. But if this really starts to go crazy during after hours, currently it's at 46.04. Or it's bouncing. So if it starts getting to like 50, 60, 70, 80 bucks after hours, then yeah. Because you gotta think about it from this point too. If the people who got into it in the 20s and this thing goes to 100 or over 100 after hours, these people are up massively, and a lot of them that's up, they have options. So they were getting maybe out of the money options like somewhere in the hundreds or even in the 50s or in the 70s. They were getting out of the money options over there. And at the time when it was in the 20s, $20, the out of the option monies could have been, per contract could have been somewhere around like 40 cents, 30 cents, maybe even 50 cents. It gets into the money, then that instantly could jump up to like 4, 5, $6. So they're looking at instant maybe 100x on not 100x but 10x depending on how much they bought. Now you're getting reports that people are spending, thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars on it, then that could really, you know, again, make people a lot of money real fast, real quick. But the action that takes place afterwards is going to be selling. So that's something just to think about, and that's why I say, hopefully it's not buy the rumor, sell the news.
JD subscribed to the channel.
Appreciate that subscription, JD. But yeah, it will be interesting tomorrow, especially if we just see like it just running up. Because I know some short sellers, they're gonna be looking to short it at noon. That's a very common strategy that's done. It's a forward-looking event. This is the reason, because you gotta think about it. Why is this? Because the question would be, why is this stock up? This stock is up because Roaring Kitty is gonna have a live stream at 12. Right? So this is the reasoning. So once that reason happened, then most times out of 10, this is why like buy the rumor, sell the news typically work is yeah, the event happened, so there's no other catalyst to make it continue to keep going up higher. Um so I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm really hoping, because again, this goes crazy. It's gonna make our Roaring Kitty bag go crazy as well. But I'm looking at it from just from a level headed perspective. Am I holding? Now I'm not holding GameStop. I'm holding Roaring Kitty stock, which is doing pretty well. So with GameStop going up, it's gonna make my bag right here going up. So it's just crossing my finger that GameStop goes to over. That's over $50. Yeah, and the other element behind it too, because again, there's so many different factors that's in play. Like how many short sellers are still in this? You know, because even though if it's a buy the rumor, sell the news event, if there's enough short sellers that's stuck in it, even though when people are taking profits, these short sellers, they got to buy it to be able to get back in, to get out of their position. So forced liquidation could very well start happening tomorrow, because that's why I'm hoping, like best case scenario is it has a huge gap up tomorrow morning, followed by a slight sell off, because a slight sell off, when it's selling off, some of the short sellers that were in, this is going to give them an opportunity to be able to buy up the shares that some people are taking profits with. And once the market shows that GameStop is being a little stable, if that happens, then we can start to see the rally continue to pick back up, where more retail start to come in to drive up the price some more. So those are the two scenarios. At least that's how I'm thinking about it in my head um, for tomorrow. Roaring Kitty will roar. 100%. GameStop is up 129 million. So yeah, GameStop is seeing a lot of the volume here so far. Because when I was looking at it, it was at like 8 million. Got this pop consolidation. So it actually was once this pop happened, it started selling off. But among the Roaring Kitty though, we have a huge opportunity presented before us. But yeah, guys, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end this stream because I do still need to respond back to the exchange. So I'm gonna actually let me see. I personally figured that after the market stopped being manipulated as much after hours, it would go up more. Yeah, that's the thing with the stock market, man. Like with those halts, it breaks momentum. You know, it breaks momentum, and yeah, with after hours, it's less liquid. So the bid and the ask, it's not a tight spread. So if people are trying to get in before a big run up, then they're gonna cause the price to go up a lot faster, a lot higher. Um, so tomorrow's gonna be very, very interesting. So I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be here, man. Not a problem. So I'm about to go ahead and end this live. Like I mentioned, I still gotta message the exchange just to be able to get a little clarity. And once I do, I'll be able to present it to you guys in the Telegram to let you guys know what's the outcome. Because again, 3 listings, if we're able to at least get 2 of the 3, because those are already approved. So we're able to just get the capital, the funds to be able to get this listed on 2 exchanges, especially if we time it, then it is going to have a nice positive impact as well as when we're taking, advantage of this GameStop narrative with Roaring Kitty. So that's all I have for you guys today. Random Arts guys signing off.